Carleton is a nation within a nation. Its citizens are students. In any country, there are groups of people with different interests and attitudes. At Carleton, there are thinkers, writers, and doers. Culture is a set of shared attitudes, values, goals, and practices that characterize an institution. Doesn't it make sense to talk of student culture? Student culture is described in objects, places, and experiences. There are these places that the students go to, objects they share, and as a result, they share their experiences, and it becomes something more human. There's a space that gets used by students every day. It connects the Torrey building and the university center. It is a large open space divided into subspaces by handrails, staircases, and walls. It's called the Galleria.
This void is quickly filled by citizens with a purpose. Monday, the space is empty. Some students in the corner listening to music and dancing casually. Tuesday, the space is being used for the Shineram Awards ceremony. Wednesday, a large poster sale that lasts 3 days. Hundreds of students pass through the space transformed. Friday afternoon, the posters are taken down and the space is returned to the Galleria. The weekend, little activity in the Galleria.
The space is poorly lit, with fixed lighting that does not change relative to the time of the day, or for the purpose that the space is being used. There is no natural lighting. The space looks the darkest in all of Galleria, and as a result, the passengers who walk by do not go there, and instead, they tend to go around the windows where the sunlight is coming from.
There are a variety of materials that form the plot. The notable ones are wood, glass, steel, and fabric. The west facade is a glass wall with offices and a classroom on the other side that we cannot see through. Glass is usually used in windows. However, the offices upstairs have one-way, frosted windows where the occupants can observe the students at a distance. The classroom always has its blinds shut. The north facade is a bare wood wall separated in panels. Wood is usually a warm, organic material, and although it does add some color to the space, the walls still feel cold and engineered. The ceiling is a complex patchwork of white ductwork and suspended sound dampers with fabric surface. The steel railing forms a perimeter around two sides of the space. It also creates a narrow gap between the glass facade. This is to create a buffer, but unfortunately it does not feel integrated into the space.
It is interesting that the glass walls face a classroom and that the blinds are always shut. The choice of materials conflict with the privacy setting of the classroom. And the other wall is complete emptiness. There are many different types of people with different purposes who come and set up their work in the middle of this area, most of whom, however, do not use the railing, the ceiling, or the walls. They instead tend to set up their temporary spaces around the center of the plot. It is interesting, however, to use such empty spaces as the walls and the railing and incorporate them within the space. Jane Jacobs, in her book Death and Life of Great American Cities, introduces 4 elements to design of city parks that are relevant to the Galleria space. 2 of which we already spoke about, which are lighting and centering. The other 2 include intricacy and enclosure.
Intricacy deals with the questions: what does the space inspire people to do? Why do they come here? What opportunities does the space and the objects in it provide? One of the demands that the space satisfies is the need for a generalized and open space for students.
This element defines the boundaries of the space. It resolves issues of space usage and privacy. We must respect the existing structures that form an enclosure and look for opportunities to perhaps break up the space and enable a variety of uses. Ultimately, this place is a space of default and potential.